Welcome back to Ellerdine. The buzzer fishing has been out of this world the last few weeks, so I thought let's do a buzzer fishing video. See how I get on. Buzzer fishing. I will be totally honest, it took me a long time to get into the habit of how to catch them on these. I really struggled with it. It wasn't until I actually understood what was going on under the water that I started to make it work, and I found my own way of fishing with them. So a buzzer is the juvenile stage of a midge fly, and I think understanding that and understanding what a midge fly life cycle looks like will help your buzzer fishing massively, as it did me. But I've got two rods set up. I've got a straight line buzzer set up, and I've got a washing line set up. So we'll have a look at what I've got set up, and also some information about a midge fly, and see if we can catch a few on buzzers today.
Let's have a look at the life cycle of a midge fly. The adult fly lays its egg at stage 1. The egg then hatches into the larvae stage at number 2, which is a chirominid, or more commonly known as a bloodworm. They live in the silt on the lake bed for a period of time before moving into stage 3 of its life cycle at the pupa stage. This is where they start to descend up through the water column, and once they reach the surface, they hatch into a fully grown adult midge fly. They then go mate with another midge fly, and the whole cycle repeats itself.
Now that we've had a look at the midge fly's life cycle, let's have a look at my cast I'm using and how we're trying to recreate that while straight line buzzer fishing. I'm using a 7-weight floating line, a 12-foot leader of Witchwood Ghost Mode fluorocarbon in 6 pound. For the point fly, which is our deepest one, I've got a size 12 Dennis the Menace buzzer. It's a red and black fly, so it imitates the larvae stage of the life cycle. 4 foot above that, I have my first dropper. Again, a size 12 buzzer, but this time it's predominantly black. And this one is imitating the pupa stage of the life cycle as it started to come up through the water. And 4 foot above that, I have my second dropper, which again is a size 12 buzzer. It's predominantly black, but it does have a little bit of colour. It just helps attract the trout. And again, this is just imitating the pupa stage as it's getting closer and closer to the surface, ready for hatching. So now that we've had a look at my straight line buzzer cast, let's have a look at my washing line setup. I'm using a 6-weight floating line, a 12-foot leader of Witchwood Ghost Mode fluorocarbon in 6 pound. I've got the flies set equally at 4 foot apart. The first dropper is a size 14 wicked white buzzer. The second dropper is a size 14 black vicar buzzer. And on the point, I've got a foam top hat hare's ear in a size 12. If we quickly go back to the midge fly's life cycle, what I'm trying to recreate with my washing line setup is that stage where the pupa has risen right up high in the water column and is getting ready to hatch on the surface. So because I want to keep my flies in the top 3 foot of water, it's one of the reasons why I've chosen size 14 buzzers. I just want small flies that isn't going to pull the cast down below the feeding fish. Also why I've gone with a foam top hat buzzer. It's just more buoyant, it helps keep the flies up in the water. I've chosen the 6 weight because the flies are quite small. I don't want to risk pulling out of a fish because the rod is potentially too stiff. Also because the top hat hare's ear on the point is imitating a pupa that is hatching into an adult midge fly. There's a real chance that a trout will come up and take it off the surface. So the 6 weight setup just gives you that little bit more cushion should you need to strike. So I've started on the washing line because there's so many fish up in the water taking things off the surface, so I want to keep them buzzers high up. In reality, I probably should be fishing dries, but it's a buzzer fishing video, so I've got my foam hazy on the point and a couple of 14 buzzers underneath. I've had 1 fish already. There's a bit of breeze picked up now as well, so I think that'll probably help produce more takes. Just gotta keep fingers crossed and keep plugging away. Oh! Oops. When it comes to retrieve, there's no doubt about it, static rules the roost. But you can, every now and then, just put a long pull in, just to bring everything back up in the water. There's so many fish about, it's beautiful this morning. So, just a very, very slow figure of 8, just keeping in contact with it. The takes are savage. Sometimes they'll pull the line out your hands. Other times you'll see the loop that I've got at the end of my rod just dart forward as it picks up the buzzer. But I love buzzer fishing. There's just something about it, especially like this morning when there's fish rising everywhere. I'd like a little bit more breeze, but I think that's meant to pick up later. But as it stands at the moment, it's very, very relaxing fishing. Can't complain one bit. Don't know if that got it on camera, but that is a perfect example of a buzzer take on a gentle buzzer take, I should say. The line just moved off, but numpty here missed it. I was putting that one in and stuck it out, winding back. That is not how to fish buzzers. But a fish is a fish. pairs here on the point here. Oh, come back. Lovely. Well, that is number 2 of the morning so far. I've lost one as well, but let's get him home. Off he goes. So conditions for buzzer fishing. What are you looking for? Me personally, I like mild conditions, a gentle breeze, a bit of sunshine and some cloud. They are the optimum in my opinion, and it's probably why buzzer fishing is renowned in spring, because they are the conditions you get. Now, I have to say, you will catch on buzzers all year round. You'll catch on them in winter as well, but then warmer temperatures do just produce hatches, and that's when you get feeding frenzies, because they come up in large beds and large hatches. I will say as well that although I'm using size 12s and 14s today, it is worth having a range of buzzers in your box, because the size and colour of a buzzer will vary on the temperature and the conditions that it's hatching in. So having a collection of buzzers definitely helps. Oh, that was savage. I'm not sure what this has took. Oh, I lost it. I've lost it. Oh well. Right, fish. Busted me dropper. Oops, must try harder. I just thought I'd take a couple of minutes to have a quick look at how I choose an area to fish and the areas that I target once I have. The very first thing I look at is wind direction. For example, if you have hatches of buzzers going on all around the lake and the wind is pushing into a specific corner, that wind is going to push the pupa into that corner. The fish are going to follow it because they're being presented with an all-they-can-eat buffet. So I followed the wind and I've chosen a peg. But what's my starting point? Now, the honest answer is you will catch on buzzers everywhere, all across the lake, because you will get hatches everywhere. But my favourite starting area tends to be the marginal shelf. Now, my thinking behind that is it's shallower water, so it warms up quicker, helping with a hatch. At the bottom of the shelf, you have a buildup of silt, so it's a natural nursery for the larvae, which means the trout probably visit that area on a regular basis anyway. And also, because I followed the wind, that pupa that's being pushed along will eventually end up in that area. Okay, so I've given you my ideas on starting areas for predominantly weed-free lakes. But what happens if you're faced with a shallow weedy lake? Now, my thought process on these is a little bit different. I tend to start around the weed beds. Now, this is because it is a natural holding area for insects, but also when weed beds have died off in previous years, they will decay on the bottom and they will create silt areas, which means a nursery for larvae, which means buzzer hatches. Now, I started on the margins down here, but I've had a change of plan because the wind's pushing directly into me. I'm casting straight out and just letting the wind push the buzzers back to me, and I'm just keeping in contact with it. I've not had any fish off here yet, but I have seen a few signs, so fingers crossed. I have switched over to the straight line setup, but if I keep seeing fish up in the water, I might have to put the washed line on here also. I'll give this half an hour. It's quite obvious even on meadow that the fish are up in the water, but I need the 7 weight to get out in the wind. So what I've done, I've kept the 2 size 12 buzzers on the dropper, but I've popped a size 10 fab on the point and it just keeps them 2 size 12s up. Plus that colour might spark a reaction from a few of them. Just keep plugging away, said. Change the washing lines definitely worked. Didn't feel a bad fish, this. Just took the buzzer on the dropper. Oh, it's come off again. I'm not having a very good hook to land ratio today. I'm going to have one more cast here and then I'm going to go for breakfast, and then after breakfast I'm going to see if I can get on Marsh, because he's been fishing his head off on there. I let everybody rush to it this morning, but I said I'll fish this out, have some food and then move on. Definitely the best breakfast in Shropshire. Well, I finished my breakfast. I've timed it absolutely perfect because everybody else has gone for breakfast, and it now means I've got Marsh Lake to myself and there's fish absolutely everywhere. If I don't catch from here, I might as well give up. That was such a gentle take. Took the point for this one. Superb. I absolutely love buzzer fishing. Absolutely cracking fish, that one. Stunning creature. Let's get him home. Thank you very much, buddy. Come on, have it. Go. Come on. Come up. Off he goes. Bye bye. So the fish are obviously well up in the water. Washing line is definitely the way forward today. What I've done, I've took the hare's ear off the point and replaced it with a large top hat buzzer, and it's got a really orange head, so it's holding them really high in the water, and it's also going to act almost like a strike indicator, because if one picks the buzzers up underneath, that's going to go under. Alternatively, they could come up and take it off the top. That's my thinking. Let's see if it works. Oh, I missed that one. I thought I'd missed that one at first. Oh, now it's come off. One just had a go at there, it didn't connect though. Swapped to the 7 weight set up with a size 10 fab and size 12 buzzers, just to see if that helps with keeping the hook in them. And I said that's a pull first chuck, but didn't hook up. Look at that. Oh, you know, it's getting ridiculous now, to be fair. Just found what they want. I'm convinced this is going to stay on. Oh, what the heck you got stuck on? So it's off. Is it? Let's took the fab again, this one. Come on, round there. It knows where that reed bed is. Today is definitely shown by going with gut instinct and changing to match what you think's going to work can pay dividends. Look at the tail on that, it's full. Right, mate, let's get you home. Off he goes. Don't know if they're roach, maybe. And that one's took the buzzer. Yeah, that's took the buzzer on the pot dropper. Oh, it should come out and foul looked itself. Oh, that's spawny. Buzzers come out and the point flies foul looked it in the back. Well, I'm going to stop recording there. I've caught enough now to show how effective buzzer fishing can be, or variations of buzzer fishing can be. I'll see you back at the car. Well, I'm back in the car. It's only about 1:30, but I've decided to cut the session short. I finished on 19, so I thought I'd just get home and make a start on the editing. I've had a great day's fishing. I've caught majority on buzzers with a few on fabs fishing the washing line, and I can't complain. What I will say is everything that I've gone through in today's film is just my take on things. I'm no expert when it comes to buzzer fishing, but I have found certain ways that work for me, and that's what I've wanted to share. But I'm going to head home now, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you do fancy trying any of the flies I've used today, most are available on the Fritz and Flash website. You can get 10% off by subscribing to my channel. Once you've done that, just pop in the code SSF10 into the coupon box, and the discount will be applied at the checkout. Tight lines.